Historical background. Before the Second World War began, Italy had some of the best studios in the world. The war destroyed many of them. Unlike Hollywood, a truly indigenous film industry was yet to develop in Italy. There were a large number of Hollywood films imported to Italy at the beginning of the 30s. As Federico Fellini, one of the most acclaimed Italian filmmakers, wrote, to the generation of Italians born in the 1920s, Hollywood films appeared to be selling to the viewers the idea that America was a paradise on earth. Italian cinema at this point of time tried to imitate Hollywood, going for big budget films shot on exotic locations like posh hotels and nightclubs and ocean liners. By the end of the 40s, filmmaking passed almost entirely into state control. But in the early stages, the fascist regime, instead of asserting totalitarian control over the medium, tried to promote artistically well-made films in a genuine attempt to offer aesthetic competition to Hollywood. There were also demands, which were not accepted, to use cinema for fascist propaganda. At this point of time, the conflict between aesthetically sound art cinema and formulaic genre vehicles or commercial films arose, with the government changing its policy to subsidize genre vehicles which were successful at the box office. This, when combined with the protection offered to film companies against American films, firmly established private enterprise in Italian cinema. But there were occasional attempts to abandon both populist themes and technical sophistication in favor of down-to-earth realistic themes and treatment. With the end of the war and the collapse of the fascist regime, neorealism asserted itself in a new atmosphere of freedom and creativity. But in 1948, the first post-war government reintroduced the fascist regime's subsidies for films, which came out successful at the box office, thereby starving the neorealist films, which were less successful than a run-of-the-mill commercial films of badly needed government assistance. The term neorealism was first applied by film critic, scriptwriter and filmmaker Antonio Pietrangeli to Luchino Visconti's film Ossession, for which he was assistant director. Ossession or Obsession, released in 1943, can be regarded as a proto-neorealist film. 5 years later, Visconti was able to realize the full potential of neorealism in La Terra Trema, The Earth Trembled, which many film critics consider to be the perfect example for Italian neorealism. Interestingly, Pietrangeli, who collaborated in the script for La Terra Trema, went on to become a director whose films represented Italian cinema's move away from neorealism.